Over the last 50 years, Century City has transformed into a city within a city, redefining a live, work, and play environment. Its residents reap the benefits of walkable superblocks and amenities ranging from retail shops to fitness clubs. Century City's evolution, however, is largely due to the footprints of one passionate architect, responsible for many of Century City's skyscrapers, Scott Johnson.
We've had a pretty good role in Century City. I guess we've done all the tall buildings in a recent period, the last generation really, and it's been fantastic for us, and we're very grateful for both the community in and around Century City and for our clients who provided us the opportunity.
For Scott, executing an artistic project has always been in his nature. As a child growing up in the Bay Area, he expressed an early interest in building models, experimenting with tools, drawing, and painting, all of which extended throughout high school. After participating in an inspirational college program in Florence, he immediately enrolled in his university's architecture program and earned his collegiate degree.
Then went to the East Coast for graduate school and then spent a number of years in New York City working on projects around the country and around the world out of New York before I returned to California. When I returned to California, I decided to come to Los Angeles instead of San Francisco.
In an industry where inspiration is critical to bringing life to a mere concept, California influences Scott's perception and execution of art in many ways. Not only has he committed years, decades even, to spending time at museums with artists, but his wife and daughter also expose him to performing arts. Another major influence on Scott's work, landscape, pushes him to accept nature in its most original, flawless form.
Landscape is an inspiration to me, particularly in California, because it's so varied. We're so accessible, whether you're in San Francisco, Sacramento, Los Angeles. Within 2 hours, you can have a wide range of landscape experiences. And it's hard to argue with landscape. You can't say that landscape doesn't quite have the color right, or the form right, or the shadows and the light isn't right on a tree. It's not really a very valid comment. So you're witnessing a lot of perfection when you look at landscape.
In an effort to preserve the landscapes that influence him, Scott and his wife recently built an energy-passive house in Ojai. He also lives in a recycled historic building in the Arts District, while Johnson Fain resides in a recycled building in Chinatown. With so many new technologies that eliminate the carbon footprint of architecture, Scott wants everyone to want to incorporate sustainability into their daily lives.
I would say almost everyone, although America is a little bit late to the game. However, by now America is pretty much focused on that. We really don't have any clients who at some level aren't concerned about that. Sometimes we do smaller projects. Some of the clients are more specialized and more focused on it.
With a strong desire to do more of his childhood passion, painting and drawing, he does multimedia work in his free time and paints at his studio. But for his future in architecture, he also hopes to continue motivating his peers and clients to tackle out-of-the-box projects. With an innate ability to spark a sense of creativity in the minds of his most analytical clients, Scott appreciates his ability to learn something new from every project he completes.
If you're doing a tall or super tall building, you're learning about engineering and science and performance and comfort up vertically in a building. If you're doing a winery, you're learning about agriculture and the production of grapes into fermented wine. So the insights you get are fantastic.
Computers and digital science constantly impact the direction of architectural processes, leading Scott to envision the future of architecture, placing importance on creating smart, high-performing buildings. But in a humanitarian sense, he can also see the focus of architecture transitioning to the creation of cities, rather than just the building itself.
By 2050, 75% of the world will live in cities. So I think we have to think about density, not necessarily as a negative thing, but density as a positive, mixed-use environment that has publicly accessible open space, infrastructure, recreational amenities, the full range of uses that are accessible without getting in a car.
Scott's portfolio of skyscrapers in Century City include 1999 Avenue of the Stars, Constellation Place, and Fox Plaza. From housing entertainment tenants, frequently filming in and around the towers for media projects, and incorporating sustainability, each building boasts unique characteristics that define their own identities.
Well, Citizen of the Year in Century City is a great honor. I'm flattered and I appreciate it. I have to take it as a collective honor, though, in all honesty. The buildings and the projects we've done are large in scale, they're complex. Involves not just many creative people in my office, but involves a whole set of consultants and specialists. And And without the ambition and thoughtfulness of clients, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Scott Johnson has been vital to the timeline of Century City's development. However, the importance and appreciation of his involvement with Century City is mutual, and he loves coming back.
It's always nice to be called back someplace because every place changes over time. It means that people are still asking you to apply your talents as things are changing and needs are evolving, and the community sees itself in a different way. So we appreciate that opportunity of doing it. So it's great. Couldn't be happier.